Hello and welcome back to SMT5. Now, you might be wondering why we're starting the game from the menu. And there's a very good reason for starting the game from a menu, because I want to show you all of the items that I've collected from our grind in between episodes, and then I want to show you the results of what I did afterwards. So, let's have a look at items. So immediately you'll see that we're level 83, that's because we were very close to a level, and there was a way to get some Mitamas by farming a particular spot, because they could be spawned in as a secondary unit. So I did a little bit of that to get a level. And you'll see that we have 5 Gospels, which will get us to level 83 as I wanted to. However, in terms of Grimoires, we are very, very far off the pace. And Small Glory Crystals were also far off, but I'm not too worried about them. Now, I had a look at Gospel spawns, and I found a Reddit post where this guy was basically going through all of the spawn rates in detail, in terms of he'd done calculations and experiments, and he'd left the game running, basically walking into a wall, and worked out what the spawn times were. And here's the rough spawn times for the Gospel ones. They spawn about once every 10 hours per spawn. So every 10 hours you can get 4 spawn points, which is not fantastic, especially as far as I can tell, they don't have multiples on those ones, so you can get a maximum of 2 Gospels per spawn. So every 10 hours you're getting 8 Gospels. Not a great spawn rate. Grimoires, they do spawn about every 3 to 4 hours. However, the problem there is that obviously you need a significant amount more Grimoires. Now, you can buy Grimoires, so in theory you could get the money through, going and getting on the vending machines, but that would take a very, very long time. So I gave in. And I bought the XP Mitama DLC, which is not, I don't think it's a great business practice to sell a necessary DLC to hit your max level, but, I gave in. And this is what I came to. So I found this picture online and thought, hey, surely this is just a random coincidence. It can't just be this way all the time. No, it is. This is just what happened with the increased spawn rate. It's a field full of just XP Mitamas. We've got 2 Gospel ones there, and we've got 4 Grimoire ones. This is absolutely insane. This isn't increased spawn rate. This is just only there's only going to be these guys spawning. Now, you see that guy running away? Previous I would have been really worried about the Gospel Mitama running away. Now I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. There'll be another one round in a minute. It's crazy. Anyway, now we've done that, I'm actually going to go in here, and we're going to use some of our Gospels and some of our Grimoires, and we're going to grind up to level 88 while also grinding more resources. So that's the plan anyway. There we go. Give some to you. Give some to you. Belphegor, by the way, is actually just about ready to level up just by himself. So that's kind of cool. One for Trumpeter. I don't think I'm going to level people like Fion or Kali, because I feel like we could probably fuse them into something better. Cleopatra we could maybe level up. I mean, now that Grimoires aren't really a problem to acquire. But yeah, and then Ra, I think, is the last one. Yeah, the rest of them I don't really feel we need to level up. I think that we should be fusing them into something else. Okay. And let's go. So, Red Mitama. Well, there's still only one of them, I suppose. That is the small amount of it's not completely crazy. I mean, it only spawns one of these incredibly rare creatures. There we go. So we leveled up. Agility. That seems fine. Idun levels up. Ooh, what have you got? Almighty Pleroma. Absolutely terrible. You don't have an almighty move. Zal. Odin.
Indeed.
Ooh. Nullelec. Actually just terrible. I was just double checking there whether it overrode Reflect. It does not. Yeah, actually just no purpose. Tal leveled up. Cleopatra levels up. She actually gets stats and everything, which is kind of cool. Mephisto levels up. And Trumpeter levels up. And Amanazako levels up. And then there is Konsu Ra with high fire pleroma. I wonder which thing we're going to replace here. We are, of course, going to replace fire pleroma. Now, we could have replaced another one and got the effects of both, but I don't think it's worth it. Oh, and a bead. Thanks. Okay, cool. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to apply all of these again, and we're going to go back around and do it again. So, Gospel. Grimoires to everybody. We could potentially level up Cyrenup, but that's going to take so much time. If I decide we're going to do it, I will do that one off camera, because that's going to take a very long time to do, just because of the sheer number of levels that he's behind. But not so long now that we have a ton of Grimoires. Oh wait, was I meant to be leveling these two as well? I guess I don't really need to level Uriel, but it will make the level of the next one higher, and then therefore the level of the next one higher. I don't think I need to. I think Amon and Konsu Ra, though, need to be leveled. There we go. We are almost out of Grimoires. Not really that worrying, though. So this is 4 Grimoires. Oh, there you go. Grimoire problem solved. And we'll just use Divine Arrowfall, which is the reason why we're farming back in Minato, because we get the same items off of it, but the actual fights are so much easier. There we go, level up. I will take a point in agility again. Idun levels up. Zhao levels up. Odin levels up. Tao levels up.
Say.
Bead, okay. Cleopatra levels up. And Mephisto levels up. And then there's Trumpeter once again. Hanazako.
Hey!
Ooh, what we got? We already have this Demon's Essence. Oh yeah.
Right.
Amon levels up, we get Debilitate. Now, do we want to take Debilitate? He does have a great score in terms of his proficiency on buffing. We could take it instead of Rakunda. Yeah, you know what? That gives him a little bit of a twist. It makes him slightly different than the other ones.
Indeed.
And there's a Ra level up. Null Fizz, we are obviously going to replace Resist Fizz, as there is no reason to have them both. And that means that Konsu Ra now has an incredible lineup in terms of abilities. The only thing that it's weak to is Ice. Yeah, that is crazy useful. Okay. Now, back in here, we're going to use Gospel. We're going to use Grimoires. And that's basically what we're going to do next. Now, with this DLC active, I do want to just stress that I am going to continue with our level, kind of hold. And we're basically just using this to speed up the grind. We're not going to use it to over-level, despite the temptation to do so. But I thought I'll make it clear that my end goal is not to over-level the bosses. Or not to over-level, I guess, the one boss that we need to do to get the secret ending. But instead is to, just cut out the bit where I have to spend 10 hours running into a wall. Essentially. Yeah, it's not a great business practice to make your game grind and then pay to skip the grind, but hey, whatever, I guess they've done it now. Right. Agility. Idun. Zhao. And, I mean, to be fair, in terms of making money as a business practice, I guess it works, because I've got at least one case now where, with me, where I bought the item, or I bought the DLC. So there you have it. Null Fizz. That makes Trumpeter very interesting, Null Fizz, actually. That's a very interesting thing to do, because that would then mean that he resists 4 and nullifies 3. Now, Safeguard is also really good. You know what I don't think we need? You know what, we don't need Fire, because we have about 10 people with Fire. Yeah, I was going to get rid of Ice, because we're always going to be in the party, and we have a very good Ice move, but you know what, get rid of Fire. Yeah, that's fine. Manzako levels up. Mon levels up. That gets us Triss Agion, which is a heavy fire attack which ignores affinity ignores affinity resistance. I don't think we need it. We'll just use the AoE. Yeah, that's fine. And then Konsura. There we go. Right, so another 2 levels for us, and then we may have to grind a few grimoires, given that we're a little bit low. Let's go find a red Mitama. Oh, there's one. As I said, it changes how much you value these grimoires and things, and how much you value the Mitamas in general. Right, blast them. That's us at level 87, I think. There we go. Oh, 1 point remaining. Yeah, I do want to spend that. I want to spend it on agility. Then, we will use yet another gospel. Do we have enough grimoires for everyone? Let's see. 1, 2... I don't know if we do. But it's okay. If we can get most people leveled up, that's fine. I'm just getting the ones that are actually at the right level first. Yeah, so no, we're going to need to grind grimoires for anyone else, but this might be okay. There we go. There's some red Mitamas for us to grab. Just slow down a second. Perfect. Right, so this is our last level, so it's the last level where we want to use a gospel. So the rest, everything from this point onwards is grimoires. There we go. I will take a point in agility. Idun leveled up. We got Zhao leveled up. Odin leveled up. Indeed. Ooh, what we got? Myriad slashes. That's 5 weak attacks with low accuracy. Absolutely not. And Odin's essence, but we already had his essence. The way it says that, it kind of makes me feel like I should just be using them as we get them, but I've kind of hoarded them as a precious item. I'm not entirely sure that was the right way to play it, but there you go. Right. Grimoires. Let's go. Tal, you can have some. Mephisto. Manazako. Even though you're not going to be useful for the next upcoming fight, but that's okay. And you know what? I will just use the small glory crystals while we're here. Okay. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Would be nice if you could just be like, use all. That I think would probably improve that screen significantly. Oh look, there's a red one. Right. Hey, it's another lot of 4. 4 is great for us because it will drop just enough for us to get another level. Didn't really expect for them to dodge. Didn't really think that was possible at their level, but that's okay. Divine Arrow Fall. Cool. Hey, another 8 grimoires. Idun levels up. Zhao levels up. Ooh, so that's actually kind of an okay one. There's a heavy fire attack which ignores affinity resistance. Now, the question is it better than anything that he's running? I don't think it is, but that one's tempting because he does have some fire affinity. But yeah, I don't think it's better than anything that he's already running with. Let's level up for Tal. Glacial Blast? No, that's not good. I was thinking about it. There was a part of me that was like, maybe. But no, I don't think... Well, maybe it's better than Meshidola, but you have no affinity. Yeah, so no, it's not. You almost had me, though. I almost got it. Right. So that last one that we got there should have given us exactly enough grimoires. Almost like it was planned, except it wasn't. Exactly enough grimoires to level all the 87s up to 88, which then means that we can, in theory, go and try the boss again. One of those, although we know the boss also uses... I'll level Konsura one more. And Trumpeter. We know the boss uses fire. We could change our affinity as well before we go to the boss. Not affinity, resistances. But... No, well, something to think about. Right, so this time it doesn't matter whether we find a red one. Red would be ideal, but, you know, we can go for a brown one anyway. It's fine. Right. Blast it. Cool. So that gets us one more gospel, and everybody levels up. High ice pleroma. No. Next. Okay, that's fine. Just getting some level ups. Tained bead. Thank you.
This is true.
Ooh. High fire pleroma. Very good. We'll replace madness nails that we got with that. Wait, is that... Actually, I might replace Impalo's animus with it. Yeah, sure. Let's replace that one. Madness nails might be okay, actually. Trumpeter levels up. Amanazako. Hey, a life stone. Amon levels up. And Konsu Ra. Wonderful. Right. Time for us to return to the pillar. I will do a save in a new slot here. This is fine. Just making sure I'm not overriding any saves that are needed. At some point soon, we're going to need to stop saving over these ones because we're going to hit our clear data, and I don't want to even make it a chance that we override that. But anyway. Right. So now we've done all of this. I did also gain quite a lot of money while running around getting Mitamas. Oh, actually, first things first. There is one nice thing with the DLC. Is at least they did realize that it would be ridiculous to have it on full time, so we'll turn it down to standard. There we go. Right. And then we'll ley line crossing to this one. We do need to do a little bit of World of Shadows work, but that's okay. We have a lot of money to work with now. I think we have 250,000, something like that. So everything should be fusible that we're after. We don't have any space in our party, however, which is our main problem with that. But anyway. Right. Yeah, let's just go. I guess I'll chronicle deeds again on this side so we don't have to redo the save. If, for instance, we die or something. Right, World of Shadows. So we're also going to be doing this one 4 levels under-leveled, which might be a problem, but it probably won't be. Demon Compendium. We'll do a ton of registering here. Right. Fusion. Where are we going to start? Compendium or Special? Let's do Compendium first. So up to 88, so we can go up to Sandalfall. Just have a look. So it's Flamus plus Uriel or Shrosha. So it's probably going to be Flamus plus Shrosha if we can get an extra space. Vishnu. Lakshmi plus Alit. That's okay. That gets us into a healer. You're also weak to fire, interestingly. Lakshmi plus Ishtar. That's a better one because we end up getting a higher level out of it. I think because Ishtar is over-leveled more than Alit is. The only problem is that we don't have any, like, affinity with buffing. That could be okay. Yeah, I could be okay with this. Yeah, let's make a Vishnu with those two, and that gets us a space as well. We need heal, although we have a full heal there. Having moderate heal, I think, is better. I'm okay with that. Luster Candy costs too much for him, although his MP is really high. Null Fire is great. That takes away a weakness. We could Null Ice as well. And then Null Force. That means that he nullifies everything except electric. Is he OP? Possibly. I would say that this character is possibly OP at that point. I think I'm okay having one OP character. I mean, this is basically what the other one was. The problem is he maybe is too OP to use at that point. Because if he nullifies everything, I suppose we don't nullify everything, but it would stop their turns. It means that he's pretty much invincible. I think I might have to stop doing nullify everything. I think that might be too strong. I'm going to take nullfire. I think nullfire is okay. That's reasonable, because that takes away the weakness. I think if we take bowl, it still comes out cheaper in terms of MP, even though he has no affinity for that one. And then the last one's probably going to be overtaken with something he's going to get from a level up. I do think that Hamabarian is better than Mahamabarian, though. So we'll go with that. Cool. Lower. One of the Trimurta and the highest ranking god in Hinduism. He governs the universe and is also recognized as its protector. It is said that when the surface world is in danger, he will appear as an avatar. Okay,
is this
cool.
demon to your liking?
Yes, and I also kind of get the feeling that you're meant to take Vishnu into that fight because it's the right level. But maybe I'm wrong.
Let us cleanse this earth.
Okay.
Indeed.
Do we get all three? Now, High Dark Pleroma is really good. I'm going to get rid of Mamudovarian because I don't think we need the AoE on that. Enduring Soul is better than Medeiran. So we'll get rid of that one as well. Now, Repel Dark, he already nullifies it. I'm tempted to get rid of this one for Repel. Repel is so much more useful because it completely ends their turn instead of just taking away 2 press turns. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Because I don't think we need the AoE. There might be a better skill set for him, but I don't think that we necessarily need to worry about it. Okay, so Sandalphon can now be made with Vishnu. That seems like very much overkill. Chiyu, we can still go and get. We have 1 demon stock remaining. We should make a Sandalphon out of Shrosha. That means that we need to get Flamus. Which means we need to reverse Compendium Flamus. For like the umpteenth time. I'm not going to use Shrosha to make a Flamus. That's very funny though as an option. There we go. That's our cheapest one here. I think. Cheapest one where we don't have to use anything that's currently in our party. That's the only move that we need. There we go.
Is this demon to your liking?
This demon is fine. Cool. We have made Flamus again. Okay, it's still just as bad as it ever was. Right. So now we can make you with Shrosha. And that is free. Nice. We don't get a level up on it, but that's alright. We don't need a level up on it. So, Thunder Rain, Hamabarian, Frykudgel, and Megidolon. Now, Frykudgel is not actually that good because it's a strength-based one. It does have a high chance of critical, but because it's strength-based, obviously that's a little bit odd. I think Energy Drain is probably good here as a way of getting MP back. I don't think we need the AoE there. Full HP recovery, costs a lot, might be worth taking. Null Dark probably isn't. Null Force is, because it takes away a weakness. Great Life Spring probably is. I'm not going to take Null Fire, because that I think is too many again. We're going to try and leave some spots for the enemy to actually attack us, rather than just defeating them before the fight begins. Maybe I'll take Heal as the last one, and we'll see how I feel when we look through the abilities that we get. Although we're not going to get any abilities. Yeah, I think Heal for the last one is fine. Lower, the twin brother of Metatron, an influential angel in Jewish mythology. He governs the songs of heaven, and his colossal size has led many to believe that it would take a human being 500 years to reach his head.
Is this demon to your liking?
Yeah, sure. And we get no extra levels, obviously, because it's because Flamus is not that high. It's not that far past Flamus's base level, and then the other one was exactly the same as his base level. So, yeah, that was why we got no real bonus there. Right, and now Metatron is available. So Metatron is available through this version of Fusion through Flamus. Okay, cool. That's an obtainable character. What have we got left? So we got Mada, Asura, and Chiyu. That's not a lot. Chiyu I still want to go and just get. I don't think there's a reason to, to fuse that one. Mada. That's the most overkill Mada I think I've ever seen. It's also the first one. Nebrios plus Fion to make Mada. Now, the problem with that is that Mada is he is not a physical-based attacker, so I don't really want to use Fion for that one. Getting rid of Nebrios is good, though. I don't want to use Nebrios plus a Mana Zako either. I'm just seeing how far down I need to go. So I could do an Aquinas plus a Guramakala, which again isn't great, but would at least avoid us using... it would avoid us using something that we actually want. Anything else down here looking good? No, because then it's starting to use Trumpeter. Throwing Abaddon is kind of okay. Most of its things, the things that fuse into it are physical, unfortunately. You know what? I think we're gonna do Aquinas, and we're gonna keep Aquinas as the one that is coming from our vault, basically because I want to get that extra level. So let's go with that. Mada. Don't need. None of the Draco strikes matter. We could take Murderously and Critical Zealot, but again, no physical that really matters, so I guess I'll take Enduring Soul. Yeah, these are that's actually bad because we want to give you magic attacks. I mean, to be honest, here's the other way to look at this character. This character is terrible, so we're probably going to fuse it into something else. So let's assume we're going to fuse it into a physical character and just give it something that's good for that. Yeah, I think that seems like the best thing that we could do here. There we go. A giant Asura in Hinduism whose name means the intoxicator. It is said that the sage Shyavana created it from fire. Mada has the power to swallow its enemies, and even the deity Indra has been said to surrender to its power.
Is this demon to your liking?
Sure. We could actually, I just realized we could have captured a Mada as well, because it was also in the maze, but whatever, we've made it now. Yeah, I definitely agree with your weird grunting. So, Dekunda, we don't need. Ragnarok. Ragnarok's pretty good. I think that Ragnarok is better than your heal for just now. Let's go with that. Right. Nothing new to fuse. Asura. I'm assuming, yeah, strength-based character. Very much a strength-based character here. Let's see what we got here. See, this I would love to be like a Nebrios plus a Fion. That would be great. Yeah, not great options so far, I'll be honest. Wow, is that those are our options, huh? Alright, we'll come back to Asura. Actually, one thing I do want to check. Chiyu. The only one we can make is Amon plus Flamus. It would give him a ton of strength. It's an interesting one. How much does it cost for us to get Amon back? I think that's going to be the condition here. Amon. Because I'm kind of tempted. Just kind of. Amon costs 100,000 to get back, so it's going to cost us 100,000. Plus the 4,000 or so. Anyway, we'll think about that one while we do the fusions. So Raphael. So that is Dominion plus Uriel. There's no other way to do this one, really. It's just the way it's going to be. Dominion, I think, is one that we had to fuse any... actually, was there a few... There might have been a Dominion around. I don't think there was, though. I think we had to fuse it, so... Let's make it. Now, this guy's got Severe Force, Severe Light. Let's see. Strength is not that great, so severe physical doesn't matter, but this one seems like a good one to pass along, because if the one after it is a physical one, that is a very good move to pass along. Because, you know, when you activate criticals, this would then do, like, basically a mega critical. Fire is bad, because we got negative to fire. These are all medium stuff. I guess I'll take Great Life Spring. Don't need Null Force. We could take Null Dark, I guess. We're probably going to take High Force Pleroma. Do we get a level up off of this one? No, we're not actually even going to get a level up either. In which case, I guess I'll take Severe Electric, even though I don't really think we need it. Lower. One of the 4 major angels. His name means healer. He's not very good at it. I mean, he's kind of okay, but anyway. He explains the history of the fallen angels and the creation of Adam and Eve.
Is this
Cool.
demon to your liking?
Yeah, let's make him. He's not really the one we're sticking with anyway, because we're immediately going to fuse him into something else, but there you have it.
May we uphold the word of the Lord.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, the first thing we're going to do is, after we kill Shiva, is uphold the word of the Lord. So, I mean, it's not too bad. Because we're going to go and do the Bethel route. Although we're doing the Bethel route with Evil Bethel, so whether that's really upholding... there's some questionable stuff there. Right. Gabriel is Ice, so we get Ice Age, which is kind of cool. Okay at healing, but not great at healing. Yeah, okay. Gabriel. Also, stats are a little bit terrible. Yeah. Okay, fine. Again, I don't think this is our end character, so I'm going to take that arts move. We don't need heavy fire. Severe electric, you got a -4 to. We don't have a lot with force, so I might take that just to have it. Great Life Spring seems good. I'm kind of tempted by Mediarama. You know what I'm tempted by? Mediarama, Mipatra, Great Life Spring, and maybe Null Dark? Yeah, maybe. But my logic here is that this is actually quite a useful combo to have. The ability to remove status ailments. Yeah. Let's take Null Dark as well. It's probably not the end character, but that'll work for just now. One of the 4 major angels, the name Gabriel means God is my strength. Acting as a messenger for God, Gabriel is the one who informed the Virgin Mary of her pregnancy. Though often depicted with a feminine face, there are various interpretations suggesting that Gabriel is not androgynous but is in fact a woman.
Is this demon to your liking?
Yeah, let's make Gabriel.
Together we shall purge this land.
Fair enough. Now, I kind of thought that Gabriel was going to lead to like a higher level fusion, but I guess not. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So that means that the only thing we've got left to, or the only 2 things we've got left to fuse are Chiyu and Asura. I was just thinking here, if we want Asura to be useful, we could make an Asura out of Odin, and then rebuy Odin. How much does Odin cost on a rebuy? That's the question. We don't need to register because we already have everything. Odin is 95,000, so it's 95,000 for Odin. And that is 110,000, so we'd need like another 30,000 if I want to do both of them. We could always just go get We could always just go and get Chiyu. Yeah, let's make Asura and get Chiyu. I think that's a smarter plan. Because Chiyu, I think, isn't going to benefit from being made from Amon. Yeah, like, not really. It's going to have the auto crit, which is nice, with high Fizz Pleroma, but it's not going to benefit that much. Asura, I think, would benefit a lot from being made from Odin. Yeah, and we would like this a lot. Let's do it. Now, we don't need to pass along any of the electricity stuff. We can't pass along Gungnir. So what we're going to pass along? Well, we don't need that. We could take Great Mana Spring, potentially. Could take Life Spring, potentially. High Restore is really nice. I think I'll pass along High Restore. I'm kind of thinking Energy Drain might be okay, although I don't know how MP hungry this character is going to be. It does have Critical Aura, which works quite well with High Restore, because it basically means that the Critical Aura part is free, although it's only every second hit. What have we got here? Hades Burst and Power Punch. Really, he would be a good one to have the arts move on, the one that does the extra amount on a critical, because then what you would do is you'd be like, okay, I'm going to use Critical Aura, hit him with the heavy move, and that would be interesting. Almighty Pleroma is okay as well, if we were going to go for Energy Drain. I think we go Life Spring, Great Mana Spring, and then just maybe Megidola as our final one. Yeah, and we're probably going to replace some of this. Yeah, lore. A violent group of demons in Hindu lore. They were very powerful and caused the gods great trouble. They are a fiercely strict group and attack anyone who runs counter to their ideals. They were originally gods of light worshipped in Persia. The Zoroastrian god Ahura Mazda was one of them. Oh, cool. Let's make it.
Demon to your liking?
Yep. Make that one. Whoop to you too. Metatron Press is one that's got low accuracy, right? Yeah, so I guess the logic is that you would use Metatron Press with Critical Aura, but it already starts with Hades Blast, so that just seems like one that makes no sense. High Fizz Pleroma is huge. We're gonna give you Frykudgel with that. Yeah. I could get rid of Power Punch, but I kind of... Maybe I get rid of Severe Fire. Your magic stat is pretty bad, but... Yeah, I guess we get rid of that, because I would assume that we're going to use Frykudgel in any situation where we're not using physical. Yeah. So that seems good. And because it's got a high chance of critical, it works quite well with High Restore. Awesome. This one we need to go and get, and then we have got absolutely everything that we can get up to our current level. Yeah. Okay, Demon Compendium. I just want to have a look. We're at 92%. I'm distinctly getting the feeling that it's going to count the two after the New Game Plus as ones that you have to get, but we'll see. We'll see. Right. I'm not going to go and get Chiyu right now, because it's not going to be useful for this fight. You know what I didn't do? Not Leyline Crossing, World of Shadows. I forgot to rebuy Odin. That's why we had an extra demon slot.
Welcome.
Now, you might be wondering why we're rebuying Odin when we just made something that's better than Odin. And that's a great question. My logic behind rebuying Odin is I think that Odin is good enough by himself to be brought in, because he brings different things. He's a high electric attacker with a unique severe physical attack. I think that's really cool. So, we're going to summon that one. And also, while we're here, Apotheosis, learn Miracles. It is time for us to learn another one of these. Do we go for Physical Mastery or Fire Mastery? Or Electric Mastery? Ooh. I think we go for Physical, because it costs the most. There we go. That's fine. And actually, Essence Fusion for us. I want to find somebody who gets us a fire resistance. Or a fire block would be great. This one seems good. The boss uses fire, not ice, right? It was weak to ice, uses fire. So this would be fine. What are your skills? Yeah, I don't think I need any of those. Yeah, I think we're fine. I'm going to take your affinities. There we go.
How is this?
That seems good. So that lets us drain fire, which will be very useful for the upcoming fight. So we're 4 levels below, but we have prepared. That's kind of my current situation. Do we leave Asura in here? I think we could. I'll just look at Mada. We got the analyze because Mada is found out outside as well. I think we leave Asura in. Asura is going to be slightly over-leveled compared to everyone else, but that's okay. I didn't mean to go to Leyline Crossing. I need to go to Chronicle Deeds. And then we will override this one. And we will try the fight again. I'm not going to save after this, but, you know, we should be full MP. There we go. I'm not going to save because we're going to win first time. That's it. That's my logic behind that. I should also potentially give Adun like the extra affinities I was going to give her, but whatever. We'll see. Probably don't need that just yet. Let's see if we can beat it with our current setup. If we need to adjust, we need to adjust, but you know, we can do that later. There we go. Just need to listen to Shiva talk for a while. Yes. I love that you can just be like, nah, I'm just going to leave after speaking to Shiva. Accuracy evasion down. That's a good one on the first turn. Let's go for a Spyglass.
Here.
Okay. So, definitely uses fire. Uses physical, which we also resist now. Uses electric. Okay. Fire, physical, electric. Wait, Aduna, you're not weak to... You are weak to electric. Oh, no. We're not weak to electric. I'm just checking everyone that's new. Asura isn't weak to electric. Fire, we will... You're also weak to electric. There's kind of a problem in the middle of our party, but... Okay. Let's use Bowl. Zao, little Fang Breaker. We can at least see where it's moved the health bar. I'm tempted to critical aura right now, but I think that the sensible plan is probably instead of using critical aura to Kanabi Veil and critical next turn if I feel like I need to criticals. There we go. Let's see what it does to us. Last time it just hit us with its most powerful move. This time it did the same thing. We're not dead yet. Call allies. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to use Eternal Prayer just to raise our HP to max. I then feel like we do want to use Spyglasses on these two. So let's Spyglass Ganesha. Resistant to physical, weak to electric, weak to poison. Weak to poison is interesting. We could maybe use that. Golden Apple. This would actually be a great fight to have Tao win. That's something to think about for next time. If there is a next time. Which obviously there isn't, because we're going to do this first time. But, you know, like, if we happen to fail, then it would be a good one to bring Tao in on. Weak to ice and weak to force. Okay, so ice is a good one to hit everyone with, right? Yes. Okay, what are your other moves? Yeah, you don't have a guaranteed critical right now. I'm going to pass, and then we're going to use a little Kanabi Veil. We do have increased defense now, which is... Oh, no, we don't. Well, we have increased based compared to last turn. Okay, we have some resists. That's alright. She is dead. Tao will be coming in. Falconer, at least we blocked it, which takes away a turn. Oh, goodbye, Zal. Zal lives. Alright. Well. Okay. Tao? We're bringing you in. You're called up to the main squad again. Now, can I get a bowl on Tao and still get round with a Kanabi Veil? Bowl, pass, Kanabi Veil, heal. Yes, we can. Okay. So that seems like the most sensible plan that we can do. Also, you noticed we got a defense up when we came in, thanks to our the thing that we got. The new miracle that we got a couple of episodes ago, I think. There we go. That was almost terrible. Let's do a little Kanabi Veil. Now we do have a problem in that we're on the back foot immediately, and like this guy is gonna hit us with more and more powerful stuff, and we're basically like, well, I have less than max HP. So it's not the best situation to be in, but... Hey, fire! We reflect fire! That gives us a turn. Nice. We recovered from an ailment as well. Absolutely perfect turn to do that. Now, we could start hitting with ice. I think that seems sensible. I'm going to do critical aura immediately as well. Now, Asura might be a problem here. We should probably just pass his turn. But, Tholastic Calamity. Ton of damage. Didn't hit Kali, unfortunately, because it probably would have killed. But, anyway. I think we bowl and we raise stats again. You are going to use Pandemonic Crush. Hits everybody and lowers defense. It's a great move. Asura recovers from ailment. Couldn't be better timing for that. I think Hades Blast makes sense. Fry Cudgel could be okay as well, but Hades Blast. Nice. We are going to use Kanabi Veil. We're going to continue being safe, but this is basically just... like, this has put us back to where we should have been, maybe at the start of the fight. There we go. So everyone's max HP. Now, do I Pandemonic Crush again, or do I Fang Breaker the boss? Now, the question is basically, do I think that I can kill these two with Asura? I think I can, so I'm going to Fang Breaker the boss in order to reduce the damage that we're taking as well. Right, Hades Blast. Killed the two at the side, don't care that the boss dodged, because we already did what we wanted to do. So that lowers our defense to the lowest it can be. Then call allies. Does he do that every single time he calls allies? Because that would be interesting. That's Parvati and someone else. I can't remember who the other one is. I do want to use our Spyglass here. I'm gonna do something a little bit odd. I'm gonna use an Ice Gem on Shiva. Now this is gonna give us an extra turn, no matter what, because it's gonna hit Shiva on the weakness. But it doesn't. I mean, basically it means we can do an ice attack without attacking one of the two allies, which I think is gonna be useful for us. I want to bowl and I want to go all the way around as well, which I guess means I have to pass your turn. Doesn't really matter whose turn I pass at this point. But yes, effectively I need to pass one of the next two turns. Alright, I'm going to use... It doesn't matter whose turn I do it on, so let's do it here. Use that on Parvati. Wait, was that level 39? 92, never mind. So, resistant to ice wouldn't have been a problem if we had used it. Okay. Pass. Kanabi Veil. Now, we are going to run out of MP on Tal. That is a problem that we're going to run into, but Light of Order is so good in this particular fight. And I don't even feel bad about using it, even though it feels OP. And I don't feel that bad, because Tau is a base game demon. So therefore they might have expected that you have Tau at this point. Nice block, and that's also going to be blocked. Cool. Now we are charmed currently, that's a problem. I would like to use Spyglass on the last one, on Dakini. We're charmed. Okay, it's just not going to let us through here. I should use Bowl, and then we need to figure out a way of getting MP on you. I'm going to use a Spyglass on the last one. Hopefully we don't die due to doing that. We should be fine. Our HP is pretty high. You're weak to ice. Okay, so ice would have again been fine. Pass. Kanabi Veil, please. We're charmed. Okay, well, that's fine. Magatsuhi is max, which is nice. Don't crit. I mean, we do resist that one, which is nice as well. Happy we took that as a resistance. Attack up's annoying.
Now I'm mad.
Defense up is also annoying. but it's not like anything we need to worry about. That gives him another turn. Apart from the fact that Tao dodged, we died? What? We died? Oh. Oh, okay then. I guess we're dead. Alright, that felt doable. There's like a few minor tweaks that we can make, but I think that's doable. I think I'm going to make the minor tweaks as well. I think having a nullify of electricity in our group would change a lot. So, do we... Well, you know what I could do in our party? I could swap out Asura for Odin, and that gives us our Reflect Elect, which would take away his turn if he used an electricity move. That's pretty good, so that means that we nullify both fire and electricity. We have 3 resistances to... Sorry, we have 2 resistances to physical, which is quite nice. I do think Adun should be immune to electricity. Maybe we get rid of White Draco Strike for it? Yeah. Let's maybe get rid of White Draco Strike and make her immune to that. That then means that we have 2 healers who can work in this fight. Yeah. I think that that's a good change. I was a little surprised that we just got absolutely smoked, but that's okay. You live and learn. Adun, looking for a null electricity. I can't remember how we found them previously, because we definitely found this on a different route. It's null fire. Don't really care about null fire. Fire we're sorted on. Electricity is a problem. Null elect, Lilith. Your other abilities aren't that good. Your resistances are kind of trash. Yeah, you seem perfect. I would like Golden Apple. Bowl. We're just going to place them next to each other now. Heal Pleroma. Life Spring. Just seeing what else you've got. So Null Elec. So then beyond that, I do think Mahamon is good, because we get a +2 to it. But at the same time, I'm like, Energy Drain would be pretty nice. Actually, just to get an extra thing, we could do that on crit turns. But if we're taking Energy Drain, we might as well take Almighty Pleroma. What am I giving up for this? Probably not a lot, right? Slumber Vortex we don't need. Meshudola we don't need. Zeobarian we don't need. I don't need Small Heal. Golden Apple is probably... Well, I suppose Medea is okay to have. Maybe I don't take Almighty Pleroma. Yeah, maybe I take that one. Medea? Yeah, that seems okay. That seems reasonable. So what are we giving up? We're giving up Diamita, which I never use. Or Diamrita, which I never use. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this one. I think this one works for us. Yeah, let's fuse. I was about to look at lore and I'm like, Adun's been in our party for how long? And I'm going to look up the lore. Do you have a slot free for null electricity? Not really, no. I guess Murderous Lee is the only one I could really give up, but I don't think that's worthwhile doing. I think the rest of them are too good. Right. Let's Chronicle Deeds. We've made minor changes. Actually, you know what we should also do? Just because I'm going to forget to do it unless I do it. Where is... we're not looking to increase the max HP. Oh, I should use these on us as well. Just because we can. But what I should do is I should use Healing Sutra. There we go. And then Aiding Sutra. She doesn't necessarily need the aiding one so much, but the aiding one, what it does there is it makes bowl cheaper, which it just helps a tiny bit. So it's 118 for the full combo now, which is a lot better with an energy drain on the back of it. Yeah, I think that's gonna end up being nicer for us. I could also go and buff our MP into the Stratosphere, but I don't think we need to do that just yet. I think we can try small changes. Just see how much more we need to make this happen. I think that this is a huge change already. Bringing in Odin gives us, even if all he does is pass, it gives us a reflect on that. We have a drain on fire. Physical, we resist. Idun nullifies electricity now as well. I think this is good. Yeah. Zhao is the only one who's kind of got a problem in our current setup, but Zhao is tanky. That's the other thing about Zhao. Very tanky character. So it doesn't matter that there's really not, you know, he doesn't really resist a lot of what's going on. He just can tank through it, at least for a hit. And if he can tank through a hit, we reflect and we nullify everything else and drain it, so they're not going to be able to have any more turns. Right. Now we know this guy's weak to ice. I still want to use all the spyglasses, but we can hit him with a Thelastic Calamity to start. Cool. Idun is going to start up with Bowl, obviously. I went too far down because I've got muscle memory about where Bowl is. We're going to hit you... I was thinking, do I Fang Breaker? I could Fang Breaker, Spyglass, Kanabi Veil. Yeah, that's okay, actually. Yeah, never mind, that's fine. That works for me. For some reason, I thought you had to do something on Odin's turn, but we don't, and we don't need to heal, necessarily. There's a Spyglass. So we now know what the weaknesses are again. And then we Kanabi Veil. Right. We are going to take the hit off from the Almighty, which I guess is an argument for bringing in Tau immediately, but there you have it. Calls allies. Right. Do we Eternal Prayer right away, or do we go for criticals? You know what? Let's go aggressive. I'm going to critical. And then we're going to use Thelastic Calamity. Nice. Idun is then going to give us a golden apple. Big heal. Oh, the heal is actually even bigger now as well because the affinity is higher. Yeah, I forgot that. That's really good. Pandemonic Crush. Nice. Now, you probably want it. What am I going to hit you guys with? I guess Hades Blast? Nice. We want to use Kanabi Veil. Kanabi Veil, Bowl. Yeah. Let's try that. So Kanabi Veil. I could also use Energy Drain on this turn. Yeah, let's just make sure that she's dead. Get ourselves, yeah, that was 51 MP. That's very worth it. Pandemonic Crush again would be okay. It kills Kali. I think you're weak to electricity, right? I'm gonna try Thunder Rain. I know he drains it, but he hasn't taken that much damage yet. And I really wanted to kill the one on the right. Now, does he go immediately into Almighty again? He does. Okay, so there's an argument for not killing the ones at the side and just CCing them. Because that way you don't get hit by that Almighty move every 2 turns. Now, the next question is does he have a limited number of allies? That's the next thing we want to figure out. Right, we know Thelastic Calamity is fine here as well. We hit the weaknesses on the people who were weak, which is good. Bowl. Zhao. Fangbreaker. Yeah, we need to reapply that, so that's good. Odin. Pass. We will then use Kanabi Veil, followed by a Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, no, sorry. Followed by Golden Apple out of the bowl. There we go. Hades Blast. We only resist. If we had a Nullify Fizz, that would actually be a nice change. We blocked that. Nice. And then that also gets blocked. Okay. So we took some damage, but mostly okay. I would love to use the Thelastic Calamity. We're going to try. It worked. Fantastic. I wanted to just use the attack anyway, whether it was going to be the right move. Like, I want to use Scholastic Calamity instead of using something like Amrita Soda, because if we use it, we get another turn. Otherwise, we're guaranteed to not get another turn no matter what happens, right? So, yeah, it just made sense to use it there. We could bowl heal this turn. We need to bowl heal this turn. Or we need to use Eternal Prayer. These are our two options. Bowl heal or Eternal Prayer. I think Eternal Prayer is better for our MP long term.
Here we
So
go.
let's do that. Yeah. Do we need to keep... Oh, wait. Yeah, you also get your turn. So I'm going to use a... I can't use an Amrita Soda? Oh, because Eternal Prayer cures it. Oh. I didn't know that, I guess. I guess hit you, because you're going to have... yeah, I think that's the one that did the attack buff previously. Pandemonic Crush. Nice. You can hit this one for a lot of damage, potentially. Do it.
No escape.
Nice. So that took away the ability for them to buff their attack. And then we're going to use Kanabi Veil. Okay. That was fine. We reflect. So that's their turn. Alright. All buffs and debuffs are wearing off this turn. Scholastic Calamity. We still haven't really done that much to the boss currently. Bowl. Bang Breaker. Pass, Kanabi Veil, heal. Yeah. Kanabi Veil. And then we heal with Golden Apple. There we go. Right. Let's see what he does. Ah, so he uses Tandava even when there's only one left. So if any ally dies, he will use Tandava.
Think you're so much better than a demon?
Raises defense and then call allies, or does he not call allies? Okay, so he doesn't do a call allies at that point. That's fine. As long as we know what the boss does, that's fine. That's all I need to know. We can work around it then. It's when it's kind of like an unknown, the boss is just going to do something, that's when I kind of like, what do we do? Pandemonic Crush lowers defense down to 0 for the boss. He should use Call Allies next turn. Pass. Kanabi Veil. We do still have a huge problem in that our our turns are mostly just like doing a small amount of damage. There's not a huge amount of damage on the boss. Alright, so you also use Tandava if all the allies die, so you won't necessarily use it. Alright, and he has a rotating set of allies as well. Okay. So he will use Tandava if all of the allies die. If one ally dies. I wonder if there's another condition, or whether it's not one ally died, but a set number of turns he will also use it under. Okay. So it seems to me what you want to do is you want to set it up so your cycle... Well, the question is, do you want to limit the Tandavas or not? I guess that's the question they're setting up for you here. Because you have two options for how to handle it. You can either reduce the Tandavas so that you only ever deal with the Tandavas, like, once these two have been thoroughly destroyed, like, over and over again. Also, killing them like, gives us the, killing them gives us the Analyze, which is great. So we can limit the Tandavas, or we can maximize the Tandavas because we know we can out-heal Tandava and call allies. So if we can consistently kill his allies every turn, that is also a valid strat. However, we need a lot of healing to make that work. But it's a valid strat. You're resistant to most things. I'm just seeing, yeah, you're also resistant to most things. So CCing them is a difficult thing. I think we want to try killing the allies every single turn. I also think that we want to bring in Tao this turn. Yeah. I'm going to go for criticals. Actually, we don't necessarily have to bring in Tal this turn. Yeah, you know what? We can bring in Tal in like 2 turns. I just realized that with criticals, there's kind of another way around things. Elastic Calamity is a good start, though. Right. Idun. We're going to use Energy Drain. Take a bunch of MP back. Do we need to reapply Fangbreaker? I think we do. Yeah. We'll just do that right now in case of misses. Odin. I think I'm going to use your first turn for Bead Chain. There we go. Our turn. The Elastic Calamity again. We're not using Kanabi Veil because we deliberately want to kill the one on the left. You're going to use Energy Drain here. Huge amount of MP back. We now have enough to do a... we now have enough to do another Bowl heal if we need to, which is why we didn't want to switch out for Tal that turn. I guess I want to Pierce Armor here. And I'm basically hoping that Odin's one does enough damage. Now, I can use the electric, however the boss has taken damage at this point, so it's less good to use the electric move there. Alright, so he's very low in health. Tandava? No Tandava, so he doesn't do it when one ally dies, so it must be a set number of turns. That's horrible. Zal was dead. As is Idun. Yeah, Zal, Idun, and Odin are dead. Okay, but we did nullify the rest of their turn. Alright. Well, this is the turn to bring in Tau, I would say. Seems sensible, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's why you use Kanabi Veil and don't go for a kill. Got it. I understand the lesson I'm being taught here. Oh wait, I thought you had I thought you had the prayer move. Who has prayer then? Anyone have prayer now? As your Magatsuhi skill. What is Shield of God? Greatly decreases damage to all allies until the next turn. Alright, that's cool. So all the heralds will have Shield of God then? Yeah. Waters of Youth is interesting. Big Bang, Free, Luck. I don't think we have Eternal Prayer on anyone but Idun. That is a problem. Okay, so we need to bring Idun back. I guess I will use a Revival Beads. Balm of Life. That's what I said. Balm of Life on Idun. Might as well bring her back at full HP. I love that Behold My Power when all she did was use an item. That's fine. Just heal me next with fire, please. Atarunda lowers our attack. Honestly, not a problem, because we had a buffed attack that was about to wear off. That's powered up and is going to pierce. That's horrible news. Alright, we're going to change in Idun.
Let's go.
Then I think we're going to use Light of Order. Just to buff up our stats. You're going to pass. Idun being here lets us use Eternal Prayer. Nice. And then we're going to use Kanabi Veil. There we go. The double healer strat. Oh, right. That pierces though, so it's going to go through our resistance. That's really annoying. He can use Call Allies? Well, that is horrible news, and now it's a powered up attack is coming in again. Okay, I'm going to bring back Odin, because that gives us our Reflect on Electricity, and that seems like a necessary thing to have in our current predicament. You are going to use Bowl. Pass. Pass. Odin is being brought back purely to die at this point, but let's not worry about that. Light of Order. Okay, Adun is gonna die, but as is Tao. I was accurate, at least. Was accurate. You've charmed us. And now you're just spamming the same move over and over. I mean, I suppose if it's working, like, you know, that's fine, but okay. Elastic Calamity, we're charmed. Okay, that's horrible news. Pass. Alright, well, see you next fight. Alright, that one felt less doable than our first attempt. That felt much less doable than our first attempt, despite us being stronger. I mean, we lasted for longer, but in terms of actually hitting the boss, because he does so much damage, we're just being like worn down over and over again. That's an interesting one. So how would we beat him? Having Zal not be weak would be okay, but that doesn't really fix the issue, right? I'm trying to think of what our issue is. Like, Zal was weak. That's not really the problem, because Zal is only there to use Fangbreaker, and we're healing him up with Adun anyway. Now, Tao instead of Adun, that's definitely a change that we can make at the start, which will at least give us a full... That will give us a defense up on the earlier rounds, but that doesn't necessarily fix our inherent issues. Let me have a look here. What else have we got? So, we could go for like a stagnant air play with you. You don't... His problem, though, is that he doesn't resist anything, and in fact, they use light moves, so he's not great here. Trumpeter would get... A Nullify Force would be quite good for us. Yeah. Being able... Sorry, not Force. Physical. Nullifying Physical would be quite useful for us in the fights. Maybe I just have to try and get Null Fizz. So like something like this could be good. The problem is, like, what are you providing us? And you are a healer, I suppose. The problem is you don't give us stats, but you are a healer for our purposes. You nullify Physical. You have a heal as a backup. Nullify Electricity. Maybe Sandalphon is our answer. Maybe we bring in Sandalphon instead of Odin. I mean, what are you there to do? But the thing is, what you do? You just stand there, like, he's immune to electricity. It's the same problem as with Odin, basically. I think having Reflect on the electric is good. I just don't know if Odin is the character we need here. The problem with Odin is, right, that basically he's just Gungnir and Hades Blast, which isn't really any different than Zal. We're missing something. We're missing something. We can probably essence our way out of this. Would a Mana Zako be good? Does reflect electricity. Doesn't really have anything that good. I mean, it has Poison Master for no reason. Grind up Vasuki. Give Vasuki... Yeah, we could grind up Vasuki. Give Vasuki Null Fizz. Not Null Fizz. Null Fire. And then that would give us a poison. The poison could be used on the elephant. That doesn't really help us. Yeah. Maybe Amon? Amon does nullify physical. Is immune to fire. Has a fire move that ignores affinity, which would be fine. Nihil Claws are okay. Debilitate is useful. Potentially. And it is to all foes, so that's alright. The problem here is obviously MP. He could only use 3 of them. I mean, even if we increased his aiding one up 1, that's only gonna make that, what, 96 or something? Which means he can still effectively only use it 3 times. We could maybe try and replace like Null Force with a great mana spring. There's some thinking to be done here. There's definitely some thinking to be done. But I think I'm going to do some of that thinking off camera. So I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.